Hello, everyone, and if you read the title, we're going to be doing two commissions. I got really lucky last month, and considering I've never really sold paintings before, I got two in a row. Very exciting. Um, but while you guys get to watch the speed paint, I wanted to also talk about a few things. If you keep up on my channel, you're keeping up on my progress and all that. And some of you may know that I quit my job recently. I was getting quite mistreated there. And yeah, so I quit. And now I'm at a stage where I have a new job, but it doesn't give a lot of hours. It was kind of like a last resort just to get out of there, just to have something. And it's been just enough to keep me afloat. But I got a letter yesterday and it was to tax my car, and I realized, like, damn, as soon as something like this happens, I do not have enough money anymore. And it was humbling. It was humbling. And I realized I need to get it together. Like, I'm at a point where I can't be living like an employed slash unemployed life, because with these hours, I might as well as be unemployed. But these paintings, selling them actually helped me out a lot that month. I sold them for 200 each. And actually, like, depending what different people think, that's actually quite cheap for what it should have been. I spent way over 20 hours working on these. For me, it was kind of justifiable, though, because I enjoy this process. Like, I love sitting at home, and to me, I find the whole process relaxing. It's not stressful, like typical jobs are. And with that, I work with kids, right? Not stressful at all, but it's actually a lot of work. Compared to when you're working at a gym. A lot of people make jokes about it, actually, is they never see gym workers working, and I got used to that. I got used to that laziness, and that was what was hard to give up for me, is the actual job. There was, like, not a lot you had to do, to be honest. But I knew I couldn't keep going with it. I couldn't, like, the actual stress of what it came with. It made me so angry that I had to give it up, but it was for the best. I'm hoping to continue selling paintings, to be honest, but these I sold through connections. And I have a feeling that a lot of what I will have to do until I can build a little, I don't like saying fan base. I don't actually like saying fans. Like, I feel like that's for celebrities. Until I can build some kind of audience, there you go, that's the right word, I'm probably going to have to keep going through connections. I had a few other people interested, but, showing interest, not the same as purchasing. And I'll say it in this video at some point again, so I know. I'm going to repeat that. A bit repetitive, but yeah. And this process of actually selling the paintings, although I really enjoy this process, I felt like I couldn't even work on what I wanted to work on. At what point should I draw the line between, letting go of my art style and doing what's best for my career? When a client wants something specific that you do not do you reject it or accept it? I guess it would be like, depends on the person, right? But what if I'm, like, in a circumstance where I need to build traction, an audience, where my job isn't giving me enough money, and I'm not enjoying the process as much as I would? I guess then, does that make it worth it? Does that make it justifiable for you to accept commissions that you don't usually draw? Because they stressed me. I used to do portraits all the time, but I haven't done them in ages, and it was not that enjoyable. I wouldn't even mind doing a portrait if it was larger scale, but drawing small details is just not for me. That's the cheaper option for most people, is to go smaller scale. But I struggle so much. My brushes, I have big brushes. I don't have a lot of little brushes. and I'm used to doing wide open brush strokes. Now I'm sitting there hunched over trying to blend this tiny little piece. Like, you know, I redrew one of those eyes. It was driving me crazy like 100 times over and over again. I actually felt like I was going insane. I can even see it right now. It's wonky. I'm looking at it right now, the speed paint. But back on topic. I don't know where I'm going, like, right now with my life. I feel like a lot of people get to this stage, and I'm still quite young. I mean, I just turned 20, literally the other week. Happy birthday to me! But, so I know I have time, but the pressure is starting. Like, especially hitting 20, I'm like, okay, this is kind of adulthood now, you know? It's not really the teens no more. Now I gotta kind of speed up. I've always thought about the future. I've always had, like, plans I made. But now so many things I need to change. I need to figure out how I'm going to be working on these paintings. How do I advertise them? And social media, like, it's a lot harder than I thought it would be. I get told very different things about it. You know, on one hand, people are telling me, you know, some post is better than no post. Just get it done. That'll get you attraction. And some people are saying quality over quantity, take your time editing. Neither of these are working for me, guys. What's happening? I've tried both. Like, oh, hold on. My cat is begging to be let out. 1 second. Alright, I'm back. Yeah. So even when I'd look at people that I kind of look up to, how do they do it? Everyone does it different. And then I guess people could give me the same advice. Oh, just do what you want to do. That's easier said than done. A lot of people will do what they want to do without looking at views and stuff. And it slows down the progress. It really slows it down. And as I was saying, you know, when you hit 20, you start really thinking, damn. Like, I used to be quite ahead for my age group. And now I'm thinking, as I age, like every year that, like, your competition is kind of harder. When you're younger, it's easier, but yeah, it gets harder. And I shouldn't view it as competition. I've always been like that. I've always been a competitive person. Hence why I run sports or I run track. Also, yeah, check this out. Signing the painting. And also glazing it, because that's the finished product. This is the painting. Well, sort of. I'll explain what I mean by sort of in a second, because I'm about to talk on the camera, so hold up. How do I look? It doesn't matter. Okay, I'm doing a second commission now because I had 2 back-to-back. He's in the process of figuring out a date of when he can collect his. The one, this dude. So I'm gonna need to, I think I'm gonna wrap it with bubble wrap. I've never wrapped a proper commission, so I've kind of sold to like my ex's dad before, but even then it was like, it wasn't really, it was kind of like close. I can't really explain it, like family supporting you, no, right? It didn't really count in my head. These do count, so I'm like, I want to package it properly. But they're very different commissions. One of them's a boxing one. Funny enough, his friend hit me up, said she might be interested, but, you know, saying you're interested is different from actually buying. So we'll see. Now I'm going to be doing dragons, like a fantasy type vibe, which honestly, that's been down my alley recently. I have been enjoying like the fantasy vibe. But portraits have been extremely difficult. I've been avoiding those at all costs. But I'm happy that I'm gonna get to do something a bit more relaxing. This is the canvas I'm working with right now, A3 size. I charged them both the same amount. And I actually like this background. Call me an abstract artist, you know. But it's gonna have to go because it's not what I was trying to do. I'll show you guys. I gave him different options, but this is the one he kind of liked the most. So this is a very rough sketch. Obviously we'll make it look better. I want to do like some, I don't know, I want to do some kind of Japanese style pattern somewhere. I'm gonna get started on that. Anyway, so now that I'm done talking about that painting, that actually is not the finished product of it, because I couldn't record it because my camera actually runs out of storage at some point, and then I had to free it up to film this painting, but I just didn't have enough at that point. Is when I took a photo, sent it to the customer, he said it was perfect. When I brought it in real life, he wanted it changed, so I had to go back and I had to change it. And in my head I'm like, am I meant to charge extra for that? Again, like, people will say like, that's my choice, as I'm the owner, the creator of the painting. Not the owner, the creator, you know, the one they're making business with, basically. And I'm like, there's so much to learn about business when you're actually starting it as like freelance, I guess. It's so different. It's hard. That's what I'm gonna say. But what was I saying before this? But onto the topic of track and age and whatever not, you know, that ties in as well. It ties in a lot, because it becomes less and less impressive, your times every year that you age. The younger you are, like, the cooler it is. And so, you know, being a late start in it is demotivating. I don't like to have that mindset. Like, I want to have a winner mindset. But man, so many people start young. I don't even know what the end goal in it is. Maybe it's best that I don't have an end goal, that I just go along with the process. But this is where social media comes in again. Like, I have a lot of idols, people I look up to. And where is the line drawn between looking up to them and wanting to be them, you know? In a way, not only wanting to be them as a person, well, I wouldn't say wanting to be them as a person, because I don't really know who they are, you know? But wanting their achievements in my life, like wanting their story to be mine, like I'm like, oh, that went so smoothly for them, and obviously it didn't. Obviously it's work, but they, like, a lot of people don't show it. They'll post a little clip right here and there. They'll be like, this was me 10 years ago, super slow, and it wouldn't even be like that slow. Like, it'd be actually all right. Obviously not fast. And then it'll be a clip, now this is me. And it's like winning championships and whatever. And yes, I know that time is a lot of time, 10 years. But it just feels like it doesn't, like, show the failures and stuff. Does anyone post themselves, like, losing the races? I don't really see that much. Maybe that's changing a bit now, more so often, but it's still hard. Maybe I need to step away from social media in general, like, still post, but not look. Oh, why is this image here randomly? Yeah. So with this painting, I hated it. I had so much problems with it. I didn't have, like, a reference image, so it was much harder without a reference image. So I just painted all, like, the whole background with this dark blue, and then I redid it. I had like 5 different backgrounds, and that's what it ended up looking like. I'm actually happy with how it came out in the end. Still a lot I would have changed, to be honest. And then this is the process of packaging it up. I decided on bubble wrap. I didn't put it in a box or anything. I just delivered it by car, and then obviously, yeah, protected the paint with the glaze, wrapped it up with bubble wrap, and yeah, it was ready to go. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys, on, if you have any, on anything I ranted on. Okay, I'm also adding in, like, this extra bit. Can you see we just bubble wrapped the painting? And these are, like, some pieces of tape. This is the best idea I could think of, is, like, putting it on this gel thing. And they're double-sided tape, in case he has nothing to hang it up with. And I'm just going to write a note on the back so he knows what it is. I didn't give him hooks because I don't know what kind of house he's in. I don't know if they
want to damage their walls, so double-sided tape. And then I found this cute washi tape, and I'm going to write just thank you for purchasing on the front. Actually, I'm going to do that on the back. There you go, it's just a small little piece.